What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about good habits today. Yes, we're going to talk about some good habits. This is some stuff that I think everybody, whether you're new or you're old in the crypto markets, these are good things to put into practice when it comes to managing your funds with crypto. Primarily, what I want to talk about, and this is like the first thing that actually I do want to talk about, is because this is what inspired this video. Was I was having a conversation with my wife earlier today. I was sending funds, and I was telling her, because you never know when your last day on earth might be, right? And in case I'm ever not here, I like to instill good practices, or like give some advice, And one of the things that I was saying was every single time that I send money from one wallet to another, and I did today, I sent a large amount of money from one wallet to another, and it was a new wallet. Anytime, every single time that I send money from one wallet to another, I send $1 first. I don't care what the amount is. $100,000, $10,000, $100, whatever. I send $1 first. Always, 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 always. When you send money from one exchange to another, from one wallet to another, always send a small amount. Sometimes $1 isn't enough after fees. Maybe you need to do $5 or $10, whatever it is. A test amount, though. You need a test amount. Every time you send money, it's just a good thing to put into practice, because if you send money and it gets there, well, good, no big deal. You took an extra 30 seconds out of your day, an extra 2 minutes if the network is slow and you're using Ethereum. Oh, well. But if it's bad, if you do something wrong and you send it to the wrong address, or an address that you don't have access to, there's no givebacks. The best case scenario is you send it to an address that somebody actually has access to, and they send it back to you on goodwill. But that's probably not going to happen. And then not only beyond that, not only that, but beyond that, dealing with scams too. This is a good way to avoid being scammed, because if you're ever sending money from one wallet to another, if you send a test amount first and it's not getting to your wallet or the area that you want it to get to, it's going to a scammer's wallet, you at least got scammed a couple of dollars, or $1 or $10 instead of your whole amount. It's a good way to prevent yourself from burning your own money, and a good way to prevent yourself from being scammed, okay? Another good practice, and this actually does revolve around scamming directly, and just maybe not around scamming directly, I shouldn't say. It revolves around protecting your funds, is that you should have access and even have your funds on multiple exchanges. I don't care if it's 2 exchanges, 4 exchanges, 8 exchanges, whatever. I have access personally, I think, to, like, let's see, because we've got Coinbase, Gemini, Robinhood, Binance US, Crypto.com, Kraken. What else is there? I feel like there's 2 others that I can't remember, but 6 or 8 exchanges that I have accounts on myself. I don't use all of those exchanges all the time, and in fact, I would even say 3 of those exchanges I don't have funds on at the moment. But if I need to put funds on there, if there's a coin on one of those exchanges that I like, it's good to have that availability. And then also on the exchanges that I do have funds on, I don't have all my funds on just one exchange or just one wallet, right? I have it spread out. I don't care. Let's say I'm holding Bitcoin. I don't hold a lot of Bitcoin, but let's say I'm holding Bitcoin, okay, BTC. If let's say I had 10 Bitcoins, I wouldn't have all 10 of them on Coinbase, or all 10 of them on Binance, or all 10 of them. I would have them all spread out. It's the same asset. It's all in one bag, one basket as far as that goes, but it's in different baskets of that same variety, right? It's in Kraken, it's in Robinhood, it's in Coinbase, it's in my Coinbase wallet, cold storage, it's in different places. Having multiple accounts is good for availability to various cryptos. It's also good to protect you, because if one of your accounts gets hacked, you at least have the other accounts. And to tie this in with something else, every exchange, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, do whatever you want. This is just how I do it, and I've never been scammed, thankfully. At least not in the traditional sense. The only way that I've been scammed in crypto is I've talked about scams on my channel before, and we address those very quick if it ever happens. This happened like 2 times in the years of making this channel. I'm pretty good at identifying them, but sometimes, man, they slip by us, and we identify them pretty quickly still, though. But I've never been scammed, thankfully, and the reason why is because what I'm about to say here is not only do I have multiple exchanges, but every single exchange that I use is tied to a different email. Okay, it's different emails. I have a different email. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. It should be a pain in the ass. If it's a pain in the ass for you, it's going to be a pain in the ass for the hackers, for the scammers, for the whoever it is trying to get your funds. It should be a pain in the ass for you. And also, this on a whole different note, if it is a pain in the ass for you, if you're doing it right, you really need to leave some instructions, very well thought out and readable instructions to people. You need to leave them in your will, because you never know. You never know when your last day is, right? And it's a dark topic. I know we're jumping all over the place here, but it's all in the aspect of conserving your funds, right? If your stuff is a pain in the ass to get into, and you die or something happens to you, and you're just not able to tell people how to access that, that's not good, right? Make it a pain in the ass, but also make sure that somebody who you trust, if you're gone, they know the proper procedures to take, right? It's someone that you trust, okay? Like your mom. If you can't trust your mom, I don't know, man. Maybe just call me. You can trust me, but I'd give me all of your Bitcoins. No, seriously though, you could trust me, but that'd be kind of extreme, right? Just a random YouTuber. Anyways, multiple exchanges, different emails for each exchange. If that's too much for you, at least have multiple emails, okay? If you have multiple, you at least have multiple emails. Fail safes, because if you get hacked on one exchange, odds are your information's hacked too. Your email might be hacked or compromised. That's how they got access to that one exchange. But if you have multiple emails, then you're at least safe there. And if you have multiple emails, then your funds are safe. If you have spread out exchanges, your funds are safe, right? And then of course, I think to end off the video here with some with just some words of the wise as far as like how to avoid scams go. If you're ever in a situation where somebody says, send me money, send me this amount and I'll send you some back that's going to, we'll double it. Send me this amount of Ethereum for a special time. We're doubling whatever you send as long as it's between this or that amount. Nobody's ever going to double your money. That's the most common scam in crypto or in the world, is like the whole idea of like the Nigerian prince scam, right? Where you send them money, they can unlock their account or whatever, and because they have so much money, they've got like hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars, but they just need you to send them $100 so they can unlock their funds, and then they'll repay you 2 times or 10 times whatever the amount is that you sell. That's an obvious scam there. What else was it that I was trying to say, man? I can't think of what the last thing was. We went over good practices as far as sending a test amount to your new wallets, any new wallets, even if it's a wallet that you haven't used in a while. Sending test amounts is a very, very good practice to have. Different emails, different exchanges, stuff like that, right? And then just also the thought of, not only is it good to diversify your wealth into different assets, but even if if all of your wealth is compiled into one asset, to spread that asset out into various places as well. Multiple wallets, multiple exchanges, stuff like that. I forget what the last thing was, but on this note, something that just came to mind also is just be very skeptical. And I think that this is very obvious to a lot of us, but to some people, especially, and I'm not trying to be ageist here, but especially to people who are of the age of 60 or older. And I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody who's of the age 60 or older. My generation grew up, and the generations younger than me, and maybe even like one generation older than me, we grew up with technology. We grew up with scams. We grew up with learning how to avoid them and detect them, right? Hey, come here. Hey, he'll just keep me out until I tell him to come here. You guys, you didn't get with social media right away, right? We've been with social media since it began, but I feel like a lot of older people have only gotten with it over the last 10 years or so, or maybe not even 10 years, like over the last 5 years or so. But older people, and I'm not just saying this off of some idea in my head. This is actually like certifiable. Most people who are scammed whenever it comes to phone call scams, text scams, or internet scams, it is elderly people. Be aware of that, right? Elderly people, young people, whoever you are, I'm not trying to be ageist, but they take advantage of people who are quote unquote innocent, and they don't know any better whenever it comes to who to trust in these kind of scenarios. If anybody is ever asking you for information or to validate or any kind of thing, just assume it's a scam. Play it safe, assume it's a scam, anything at all. You get a text, you get an email that says some suspicious activity is happening on your account. It might be true, look into it, but it also could be a scam. That's how they get you. And then they try to act like they're all professional. A good way, in my experience, and you want to be careful with this, okay? You don't want to just do this all nilly-willy. But a good way, because it takes time to unlock your accounts, but a good way to validate if someone's a scammer or not, if you're talking to them on the phone, if you're chatting with them on a chat, and anytime I know I'm talking to a scammer, this is like one of the last things I say to them. I'm like, okay, lock my account then. They can't lock your account. If it was somebody, and I've actually talked to representatives from Coinbase before, they can lock your account. They can do it. They can lock your account with your permission. If it's a scammer, of course they can't lock your account. And if they say they lock your account, go on your phone and see if, or on your computer and see if you can get into your account, right? Just don't be naive. Assume that every single person who's reaching out to help you or support you or address there's some kind of issue with your account, assume it's all BS scams, because if you don't do that and you just blindly trust, you could really lose your money. And I don't want to see people doing that, right? It sucks enough to lose your money in bad investments. It sucks enough to lose your money whenever you're trading it away and being just a dumbass and a degenerate. It's the worst when some low-life scum, bottom of your shoe, couldn't even raise a candle to you person steals your money and walks away with it. They don't deserve it. Don't give it to them. Don't have an avenue for it. And just primarily, you guys, get those double authentications, triple authentications. Make it a pain in the ass to get into your accounts so that they cannot get into your accounts. If it's a pain in the ass for you, it's going to be a pain in the ass for them. And if that sounds like too much work, you shouldn't be handling your own finances anyways. That's what crypto is. It's a vehicle to allow you to handle your own finances. The banks aren't in control. You are. You are. And if you're going to be in control, you have to have safety protocols. You have to be. That's why banks are a pain in the ass. That's why if you go to Vegas or you go out of the country and you don't let your bank know, they freeze your accounts. You know what I mean? Like but you still have that security protocol. You don't have that in crypto. If you send it to the wrong place, are you sure? Can we take this back? Can we cancel? You don't have that. So you have to be anal about it. If you're not anal about it, I hope you never get wrecked. I hope you never get scammed. But I think you're setting yourself up for that at some point in the future. Okay. And then, of course, a little cherry on top at the end here. Keep your wealth. Don't brag about it. Yeah. No. Nobody likes it anyways. I mean, if you're around wealthy people, like sometimes people like to measure, you know what sizes, and then that's all fun and stuff. You can do that, but don't brag about your wealth publicly to people, because then not only are you potentially bragging and putting someone else down who might not have that same level of wealth, and they might be going through hard times with their stuff. You know that's never fun. But also, you could be painting a target on your back for people from people that you know, people that you don't know. Just keep it quiet. A lot of you are going to come into some serious wealth, and maybe not a lot of you, but some of you, right? The majority of people are probably going to lose money. Actually, that's how it is. But some of you will make a lot of money and generate some wealth. Keep it secret. Keep it safe, right? Keep it secret. Keep it safe. And yeah, I don't know, man. I don't got anything else to say. So that's it, I guess. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. And implement these good money practices every step of the way, every single time, with every beat of life that you have in crypto. And just this and probably more. I'm just drawing a blank on what the other thing was that I wanted to say. And just avoid scams. A good one too. Never buy a pre-sale. Never get involved in the pre-sale. I don't care how convincing it is. This day and age, you don't even need a pre-sale. You should be able to just invest in a token that's built. There's so many low cap tokens you can invest in. You don't need pre-sales, man. Don't invest in pre-sales. Don't send money to people who say they're going to double your money. If it sounds too good to be true in crypto, it probably is. All these things, blah, blah, blah. I got nothing else for you. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.